I'm such a crybaby. When Ryan rejects my confession, I cry. When Ryan refuses to hug me, I cry. When Ryan won't kiss me, I cry except for, well, he basically gives me everything I ask for. Just when I thought Ryan actually loved me, floating text suddenly appeared before my eyes. This side character is so annoying. Cry, cry, cry. That's all she does. So dramatic. If the male lead wasn't already sick of her crying, he would have dumped her ages ago. Let her keep being difficult. The more bratty she acts now, the more it'll highlight how sweet and understanding our female lead is. Then the male lead will finally see how amazing the female lead is. I'm straddling Ryan's lap, my arms wrapped around his neck, tilting my head up to kiss him. Ryan grips my waist, slowly stealing my breath away. Just as I'm about to suffocate, he finally releases me and gives my lips a punishing little bite. Little crybaby. I look at him with teary eyes, my mind still foggy. Ryan clicks his tongue, his voice husky. Don't look at me like that. My hands wander over his ABS, sneakily trying to slide lower, but Ryan catches them with lightning speed. There's a flash of danger in his eyes. Get down, I pout. Here we go again. Kissing and hugging are fine, but anything beyond that is off limits. Just as I'm about to whine and ask Ryan to carry me to bed, semi-transparent text floats across my vision. This side character is so annoying. Cry, cry, cry. That's all she does. So dramatic. I freeze slinking. The text is still there, slowly drifting from right to left like a coma extreme. If the male lead wasn't already sick of her crying, he would have dumped her ages ago. Let her keep acting up. The more difficult she is now, the more it'll make our precious female lead look sweet and understanding. Then the male lead will realize how wonderful the female lead is. I sit frozen on Ryan's lap, completely stunned. In the 2 years Ryan and I have been together, I really have been dramatic about everything. And I cry at the drop of a hat. When Ryan rejects my confession, I cry. When Ryan refuses my hugs, I cry. When Ryan won't kiss me, I cry every time. Ryan looks so patient but tired, frowning as he gently wipes away my tears. Stop crying, princess. Fine, I'll do what you want, okay? Even though he seems reluctant, he never actually refuses me. I thought he loved me at least a little bit. But these floating comments are telling me that Ryan finds me annoying, and he's going to fall for some sweet, understanding female lead later. So his patience was actually just him being annoyed with me. More text keeps floating by. Why isn't the side character moving? What's with this innocent act? Get down already, the male lead told you to get down. Have some awareness. I snap back to reality and quickly slide off Ryan's lap. The moment my feet touch the ground, I instinctively take 2 steps back. Ryan raises an eyebrow, desire still lingering in his eyes. Legs weak. Before, I would have definitely thrown myself at him, playfully saying, "It's all your fault," and then clung to him, refusing to let go. But now my mind is a complete mess. No. I look down. It's getting late. I should go to sleep. Without waiting for his response, I turn and head toward the bedroom. My steps are so quick, it's like something's chasing me. Ryan seems confused and calls after me. Emma, I don't dare turn around. Did side character have a personality change? She's probably faking it, playing hard to get. Don't believe her. She'll definitely be crying and begging the male lead for cuddles later. I bite my lip hard, my eyes stinging. I sniffle and try to hold back the tears. Can't cry. If I cry again, Ryan will find me annoying. There's a knock on my door. Emma, drink your milk first. I shuffle to the door in my slippers. Ryan's wearing a black silk pajama shirt with a top 2 buttons undone, showing off his pale bosom. His features are incredibly handsome. High nose bridge, usually looking so aloof, but with those seductive eyes. His hair is still dripping wet, making him look absolutely irresistible. I take the milk he offers and drink it all in one go, then hand it back. I finished it. Burp. Ryan stares at the empty glass, looking startled. After all, I've never been this obedient before. Usually, I wouldn't drink a single sip without first demanding 10 kisses from him. And after drinking, I'd cling to him, demanding he sleep with me. Tonight's version of me is unusual for him. I wipe my mouth and look up at him. Anything else? Ryan pauses. Tonight, you don't need me to sleep with you. This side character is so gross. Always making the male lead sleep with her. So manipulative. All that playing hard to get was just setting up for this. Making the male lead offer to sleep with her, right? She's making our male lead impure. The male lead should save himself for our precious female lead. I blink and smile sweetly. No need. I'm grown up now. I can sleep by myself. Ryan's body stiffens for a moment, then quickly recovers. Fine. good that you can sleep alone. As long as you won't have trouble sleeping. I nod obediently. Well, if there's nothing else, I'll go to sleep now. You should rest early too. Good night. I give him a sweet, gentle smile and close the door. The second the door closes, I slide down against it and crouch. My heart is breaking inside. Wah. Tonight, I won't get to sleep cuddling his soft, warm bosom sniff. I want to cry again. I didn't sleep all night last night. I spent the whole time studying those floating comments, gradually piecing together the truth. Turns out I'm living inside a novel. It's called Dominant Love, CEO Smith's Sweet, Pampered Wife. A typical CEO romance. Ryan is the male lead, head of a business empire, cold and noble, uninterested in women. And I, Emma Wilson, am the evil side character. In the book, I'm set up as the little sister of the male lead's college roommate. Spoiled and pampered by my family since childhood, willful and unreasonable, I fell for the male lead at first sight, and have been fostering him ever since. The male lead reluctantly takes care of me, out of respect for my brother, but I mistake this for love. The real female lead is named Grace Chen, Ryan's company's new executive assistant. He's capable at work, understanding and considerate. And she and Ryan develop mutual respect through their professional relationship. In the original story, Ryan gets fed up with my dramatic behavior and finally breaks up with me after I cause a scene at his company. Then he gets together with Grace, a power couple perfectly matched. And I, the evil side character, can't accept this. I keep trying to sabotage the female lead and eventually end up disgraced and sent abroad with a miserable ending. Those floating comments are real-time reader reactions. They call me dramatic, manipulative, saying I make the female lead look even sweeter by comparison. They're waiting for Ryan to dump me and get his happy ending. With Grace, I hug my knees, sitting on my bed, feeling cold all over. What I thought was love was just a mistake in their love story. I'm just an obstacle in their love story. As dawn approaches, I finally figure it out. Since this is a book, I'll rewrite the I don't want to be the evil side character. And I don't want a miserable ending. Since Ryan likes the female lead, a sweet and understanding nature, I can be that way too. If I become more understanding from now on, and stop crying and clinging to him, maybe he won't dump me. Walking into the living room, I see Ryan making breakfast in the kitchen. He's wearing an apron, his back straight and attractive, total husband material. Usually I'd hug him from behind and nuzzle my face against his back. Now I stand at the kitchen doorway, twisting my fingers in my clothes, not daring to go in. You're up. Ryan doesn't turn around. Go sit down. It's almost ready. Ryan places the finished breakfast in front of me. His eyes are ringed with dark circles. Looks like he didn't sleep well last night either. Why, though? Without me wrapped around him like an octopus. Shouldn't he have slept peacefully? Ryan moves gracefully, habitually picking up a fork to feed. Give me a piece of cut bread. I can. Do it myself. I say quietly. You eat yours. Ryan's brow furrows. What did you say? I repeat in an even lower voice. I said, you don't need to feed me anymore. I can eat by myself. Ryan's face shows an unreadable emotion. After a long pause, I hear him laugh loudly, almost grinding his teeth as he says, fine. It's better if you can by yourself anyway. I never really liked waiting on people anyway. My eyes well up, wanting to cry again. See, now that I'm not bothering Ryan anymore, he's so happy. He's laughing out loud. He's finally telling the truth. He really doesn't like having to take care of me all the time. Sigh. I really need to be less demanding from now on. Being more understanding is the only way to stay by his side. Breakfast is a quiet, agonizing affair. I chew the toast until my jaw aches, staring intensely at the grain of the wooden table. I don't ask him for the strawberry jam. I don't complain that the milk is too cold. I just eat in utter silence, my heart feeling heavier with every bite. Across the table, Ryan is rigid. His dark eyes flick toward me every few seconds, sharp and calculating. He's waiting for the other shoe to drop. He's waiting for me to whine, to throw my fork, to demand he sit next to me and feed me like I usually do. I swallow the dry bread and stand up, carefully taking my plate to the sink. I even wash it myself. What is happening? Did the author get replaced? Why is the side character acting like a normal person? Ugh, she's totally scheming. Just wait, she's going to do something awful to get his attention. Honestly, it's kind of creepy. You miss her annoying tantrums. At least those were funny. I ignore the translucent words drifting across my field of vision. I dry my hands, keeping my back to Ryan. I have morning classes today, I say, my voice steady, though my fingers are trembling. I'll take a cab. The screech of a chair being violently pushed back makes me jump. Ryan is suddenly standing, his tall frame casting a long shadow over the kitchen island. A cab, he repeats. His voice is dangerously low. The temperature in the room seems to drop 10 degrees. I drive you every morning. Why would you take a cab? Because I'm trying to give you space. I want to scream. Because I know you hate it. Instead, I force a polite, understanding smile and turn around. It's out of your way. And I know you have a busy day at the company. I don't want to be a burden. Ryan's jaw tightens, a muscle feathers in his cheek. He takes a step toward me, his imposing presence making my breath hitch. He reaches out, his large, warm hand gripping my chin, tilting my face up to meet his dark, stormy gaze. His thumb brushes against my lower lip. "You're never a burden, Emma," he murmurs, his eyes searching mine. But it feels like a test. It sounds like something a male lead has to say out of obligation to his roommate's little sister. I gently, very gently, pull my face away from his grip. "Thank you, Ryan. That's sweet of you to say. Have a good day at work." I grab my bag and walk out the door before he can say another word. Once the door clicks shut, I sprint to the elevator, punch the button, and when the metal doors finally close, I slide down the wall and let out a strangled, breathless sob. I furiously wipe my eyes. No crying. Do not cry. If I cry, I'll be the annoying side character again. I have to be strong. I have to be like Grace. A week passes. A grueling, exhausting week of me playing the perfect, understanding roommate. I stop texting him 50 times a day. I stop demanding he bring me my favorite matcha lattes from across town. When he comes home late, I don't wait up on the sofa in my pajamas, pouting and demanding cuddles. Instead, I leave a plate of warm food on the counter with a polite sticky note, "Eat well. Good night." The result? Ryan is losing his mind. At first, I thought he'd be relieved. But he looks worse than ever. The dark circles under his eyes have deepened. He's irritable. He snaps at the TV. He accidentally crushed a glass of water in his hand 3 days ago when I politely told him I was going to study at the library instead of sitting on his lap while he worked. And the floating comments? They are in absolute chaos. Bro, is it just me? Or is the male lead tweaking? He checked his phone 40 times in one chapter. Emma hasn't texted him. He is dying. Wait, I'm so confused. I thought he hated her clinginess? Why does he look like a kicked puppy? Plot hole. The author forgot Ryan doesn't like Emma. I sit in the back of my university lecture hall, resting my chin on my hand, staring at the floating text. They're confused, but I know the truth. Ryan isn't missing me. He's just thrown off routine. He's a creature of habit. Once he gets used to his new, quiet life, he'll be perfectly happy. Especially because she is about to appear. According to the novel's timeline, Grace Chin officially transferred to the executive floor of Ryan's company this week. My chest tightens with a familiar, suffocating panic. Grace, the real female lead. Beautiful, competent, fiercely independent. Everything I'm trying to be, she already is, effortlessly. My phone vibrates on the desk. Ryan, where are you? Emma, class. Almost done. Ryan, I'm picking you up. We're having lunch. Emma, you don't have to. I can eat at the cafeteria. Ryan, I am picking you up, Emma. I stare at the screen, biting my lip. He's just fulfilling his duty. My brother probably texted him asking if I was eating properly. 30 minutes later, I walk out of the campus gates. Ryan's sleek black Maybach is parked illegally by the curb. The moment I appear, the rear door swings open. I slide in, keeping a respectful distance, pressing myself against the opposite door. Ryan is in his suit, his tie slightly loosened, looking devastatingly handsome. He turns his head, his dark eyes locking onto the massive gap between us on the leather seat. Usually, I'd be crawling all over him by now, burying my face in his neck, complaining about my professors. "Come here," he says, his voice rough. "I'm fine here," I reply softly, offering a polite smile. "It's too hot today. I don't want to make you uncomfortable." Ryan's hands curl into fists on his knees. "Emma, call me." "Here." Reluctantly, I slide over a few inches. He sighs heavily, reaching out and grabbing my waist, dragging me across the seat until my thigh is pressed against his. He wraps an arm tightly around my shoulders, exhaling a long, shaky breath as if he's been drowning and finally found oxygen. He presses his face into my hair. My heart beats frantically. Why is he doing this? I glance at the window, seeing new text floating by. He's holding onto her for dear life, LMAO. I thought he was supposed to fall for Grace this week. He hasn't even looked at Grace. Okay, but wait, Ryan and Emma are kind of cute when she isn't screaming. We arrive at his company headquarters. I freeze. Why are we here? I thought we were getting lunch. I have a quick document to sign, then we're going to the restaurant, Ryan says, stepping out and holding his hand out to me. I hesitate, then place my hand in his. His grip is ironclad, his thumb rubbing the back of my knuckles as he leads me into the towering glass building. As we step out of the private elevator onto the executive floor, my stomach drops. Standing by the receptionist's desk is a woman. She's wearing a perfectly tailored beige pantsuit, her hair pinned up in an elegant French twist. She holds a stack of files, radiating confidence and calm. Grace Chen. My breath hitches. It's her, the woman he's supposed to marry, the woman he actually loves. Grace turns, her eyes widening slightly as she sees Ryan holding my hand. Mr. Smith, she says, her voice smooth and professional. I have the quarterly reports you asked for. I was just about to leave them on your desk. Give them to David, Ryan says dismissively, not even slowing his stride as he pulls me toward his office. Actually, sir, there's a discrepancy in the overseas accounts I believe requires your immediate attention. Grace persists, stepping into his path. She glances at me, a polite but slightly condescending smile touching her lips. I'm sorry to interrupt your personal time, but the company comes first. Yes, Grace is here. Put that spoiled brat in her place. Look at how professional Grace is. That's a real woman. In the original plot, this is where I would throw a massive tantrum. I would scream at Grace for interrupting my date. I would cry. I would demand Ryan fire her. And Ryan would be so disgusted by my immaturity that he'd realize Grace was the superior woman. I feel Ryan tense beside me. He's bracing for my explosion. I take a deep breath, swallowing the bitter taste of jealousy in my mouth. I slowly slip my hand out of Ryan's tight grip. He flinches, looking down at me in shock. She's right, Ryan. I say, my voice perfectly level. Work is important. You should look at the reports. Ryan stares at me, his eyes wide. Emma, I'll just wait in your office, I say, offering Grace a sweet, accommodating smile. Take your time. It's nice to meet you, Miss Chen. You seem very capable. Grace looks momentarily thrown off balance. Thank you. Wait, what? Where's the tantrum? Why is she being so reasonable? Bro, why does the ML look like he wants to murder someone? I walk into Ryan's massive corner office and quietly shut the door behind me. The moment I'm alone, my brave facade crumbles. My knees buckle, and I sink onto the plush leather sofa, burying my face in my hands. He's going to talk to her. He's going to see how smart she is. He's going to fall in love. It's happening, and I'm just politely stepping aside to let it happen. The tears I've been holding back for a week finally break free. A single, silent tear rolls down my cheek. I furiously wipe it away, but another follows. Bang. The office door flies open. I jolt upright, scrubbing my face. Ryan storms into the room. He isn't holding any files. Grace is nowhere to be seen. He slams the door shut and locks it. Ryan. I whisper, my voice cracking slightly. Did you finish the reports? Screw the reports, he snarls. He strides across the room, his eyes dark and wild. He stops right in front of the sofa, looming over me. What the hell was that out there? I shrink back. What was what? I didn't do anything. I didn't make a scene. I let you work. Exactly, he shouts, running a hand frantically through his perfectly styled hair, ruining it. You let me work. A random woman steps into my path, basically insults you by calling you personal time. And you smile at her? You tell me to go with her? I was being understanding. I cry out, defensively hugging a throw pillow to my chest. I was being mature. I don't want you to be understanding. Ryan roars. He drops to his knees in front of the sofa, grabbing my arms, his fingers digging into my skin, desperate and intense. I want you to be mine. I want you to tell her to back off. I want you to cling to my arm and throw a fit and demand my attention. Why aren't you demanding my attention, Emma? I freeze. The world seems to stop spinning. Floating text explodes across my vision in a frantic flurry. Wait. He liked it. He's a sicko. He actually likes her tantrums. The male lead is a masochist confirmed. Hold up, is Emma actually the female lead? I stare at him, my lips trembling. You hate it when I cry. You hate it when I'm clingy. You told me yourself. You said you didn't like waiting on people. Ryan looks like I just physically slapped him. The anger drains from his face, replaced by a profound, agonizing realization. Emma, he breathes out, his voice shaking. Is that why you've been acting like this? Because of what I said that morning in the kitchen? You're always so tired. I sniffle, the dam finally breaking. Big, fat, ugly tears spill out of my eyes, rolling down my cheeks. You're always wiping my tears and sighing. I know I'm annoying. I know I'm dramatic. I know you'd rather have someone professional and sweet and capable like Grace. Fuck Grace, Ryan growls, pulling me forward so abruptly that the pillow falls to the floor. He crashes his lips against mine. The kiss is desperate, punishing, and utterly consuming. It tastes like salt and suppressed terror. He kisses me like a starving man, his tongue parting my lips, tasting my tears, his hands tangling in my hair. I gasp, melting into his chest, my hands instinctively flying up to grip his broad shoulders. When he finally pulls back, we're both panting. He rests his forehead against mine, his thumbs wiping the tears from my cheeks, his eyes burning with a fierce, possessive fire. "Don't you ever say that name to me again," he whispers fiercely. "I don't give a damn about competence. I have a whole company of competent people. I don't want a coworker, Emma. I want you." But I cry all the time. I sob, burying my face in his chest, finally letting myself cling to him the way I've been dying to for a week. "I know," he murmurs, wrapping his arms around me so tightly my ribs ache. He presses a kiss to the top of my head, a deep, shuddering sigh of relief escaping his lips. "I love it when you cry." I peek up at him, hiccuping. "What?" A dark, almost self-deprecating smile touches Ryan's lips. "Do you have any idea how it feels? To be the only one who can comfort you? To be the only one you run to when you're upset? When you cry for me, when you demand my attention, it's the only time I feel like you actually need me. It's the only time I feel human." He strokes my hair, his voice dropping to a husky whisper. "You said you thought I was annoyed. Emma, I'm a billionaire. I run a global empire. If I didn't want to carry you to bed, if I didn't want to kiss you, I wouldn't do it. Every time I told you to get down, I was praying you would disobey me. Every time I wiped your tears, I was thanking God that they were falling for me." I stare at him, completely dumbfounded. The text floating around us is moving so fast I can barely read it. He is so toxic and I am here for it. We were wrong. We were so wrong. She is the FL. This isn't a CEO romance. It's a possessive Yandra romance. OMG, Emma, please cry more. He's going to eat you alive. But I sniffle, wiping my nose on his expensive silk tie. "But you looked so tired." "Because I spend half my life trying to restrain myself around you, so I don't scare you away," he groans, resting his hands on my waist. "When you started pulling away this week, when you said you didn't need me to sleep with you anymore, Emma, I haven't slept a single hour since. I thought you fell out of love with me. I thought you realized I was too controlling." I blink at him, my tear-soaked eyelashes fluttering. You don't like Grace? Grace is an employee. If she looks at you the wrong way again, she'll be an unemployed employee." Ryan's thumb caresses my cheek, his expression softening into an expression of profound, aching adoration. "You are my entire world, Emma. Every spoiled, dramatic, clingy piece of you. If you ever try to act independent again, I swear to God, I'll lock you in this office and never let you leave." A warm, glowing feeling blossoms in my chest. The suffocating fear that had been crushing me for a week vanishes entirely. I'm not the evil side character. I'm not an obstacle in someone else's love story. I am his love story. I pout, letting my lower lip tremble just the way he likes it. My legs are tired from walking from the elevator. I whine softly. Ryan's eyes darken instantly. A genuine, breathless laugh escapes his chest. The first real laugh I've heard from him in days. "Are they?" "Yes," I say, wrapping my arms securely around his neck and swinging my legs over his lap, straddling him right there on the floor of his office. "And I'm hungry. And you yelled at me, so my feelings are hurt." "I'll make it up to you," Ryan whispers, his hands gripping my thighs, his gaze dropping to my lips. 10 kisses? 20? 100? I demand, burying my face in the crook of his neck, inhaling his expensive, comforting scent of cedar and bergamot. "Deal." He kisses me again, and the floating text above his head turns into a cascade of pink hearts and keyboard smashes. Ewa. This is the best book ever. Emma, we love you. Be as bratty as you want. The real female lead was the crybaby we met along the way. I smile against Ryan's lips. Let them read. Let them watch. I'm exactly where I belong, and I'm never getting down again.